if I told you most clinics plateau, or even worse, they burn money on marketing because they copy struggling clinics, or they hire niche specific agencies and in-house marketing personnel who might know the terms about your business, but in reality, they've never actually spent 5, 6, or even 7 figures in profitable monthly marketing budgets. See, most clinics that I speak with who are all struggling to scale, they make the same mistakes when it comes to hiring for marketing. They hire someone who understood the services. For example, like a med spa specific. Generally, these are ex-reps, someone who worked in the industry or has lots of experience in your niche. But the reality is they don't understand how these platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or Google actually work. You only learn how these platforms work when you start spending 6 or 7 figures a month. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how we took 4 clinics to $1 million months or more. Now, just to be clear, this is not a promise that you will even hit $1 million month as a result of doing these things, or even hiring me to do these things for you. Your chances of hitting a $10 million year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is a 0.1% chance. That means you have a 99.9% chance of not hitting $10 million a year, let alone 12 million a year, which is $1 million a month. Are there businesses that we've helped achieve this? Absolutely. Does that mean that's the average result of a client that hires us? Absolutely not. Not even close. As a matter of fact, the average business sits around 150K to 250,000 per month in revenue. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what was done with our clients that hit 8 figures. So let's dive right in. How to hit $1 million month. Now, there's a couple key components that it takes. Number one, let's dive into the content strategy. This is the area that I actually see the businesses mess up the most. And what I see most common with these businesses is they immediately think that discounting their services is going to help them. So the content strategy, very important. When you discount your services, so we'll say don't discount services, I want you to think about what actually happens when you discount your services. You're generally selling to people that are desperate, that are bargain shoppers, that generally can't afford your treatments. Now, I'm not sure for every cash-based clinic, but I know all the ones that I work with, and I would say probably 99 to 98% of the people that I speak with, which is hundreds a month, they sell to rich people. Think of your experience. You've ever bought a luxury item. Maybe you went to a premium steakhouse, or you like nice handbags like Gucci or Louis Vuitton. These businesses, they don't ever discount their services. That's how they're able to maintain that they're a premium product, and they sell to rich people. So when you're selling to rich people, discounting your services does the opposite. What does that look like? That's like doing like a $199 with like a slash through like a $499 offer. And so like you do all these crazy things. Now, I'm not saying you never want to do that, but you definitely don't do a discount. Never do this on the front end, meaning you might be able to market that as a last resort tactic. So we've already hit them with an ad. We've got them engaged. They like us. Hey, I'm Dr. John. I help people who lose a bunch of weight from Ozempic, that have flabby arms and saggy skin. I help them look like they didn't lose hundreds of pounds. Here's some examples of the work that I've done. Now we hit them with another ad and we're like, hey, if you're looking to, turn your body around, have a makeover, a full body makeover from all the weight that you lost, click the link. We're doing consultations right now. Normally I have a wait list, but we do have some openings. So if you're interested in this service, and we hit them with a couple ads, right? The people that have shown engagement, gone to a certain step, maybe it's a landing page, or they might have even put in their information. Those types of people weren't attracted with only a discount. So now, after we've nurtured them a bunch of times, they've already been hit and they know who we are, that we're a premium, high value service provider. Now we can hit them with, hey, here's $1,000 off a treatment if you book with us within the first day, right? We're not leading with that. I think that's the biggest mistake. Most agencies do that because they don't actually understand the content strategy that is required. So don't discount your services. Most agencies, marketers, they know the tactic of running ads, but they don't actually know the strategy. Tactics don't make you money. Tactics lose you money, if anything. What's a tactic? Running Facebook ads, hiring influencers, running Google ads. Those are all tactics. Well, what's our strategy, right? That's what you need to be asking on any agency or marketing personnel. What's the strategy? And what happens if things don't work, right? So that's very important. The content strategy, very, very important. So first of all, do not discount your services. I'm on the boat of being the most expensive. I want to have the highest margin so that one, I can make you more money as an advertiser, because I know there's hard costs to acquiring. We're spending money on ads. We might as well cover the cost. So the content strategy, very important. Don't discount services. Have messaging that aligns with the audience, that speaks to them, where they're at, their pains or desires. So got flabby skin, just lost all this weight, tired of how you look, I can help you, right? Very direct with a very short time frame. We want to be very direct. Now, by having the right messaging in the ad, the AI analyzes it and it places it in front of the people that you want to be in front of. Aside from the messaging and it reading what's being said in the ad, right? The people in the ad is very important. The person / creator, as we call them, in the ad is very important. I'll give you an example. If we were selling, for example, gain more muscle, get ripped with peptides, that was like our focus is performance-driven marketing for athletes or people who like to work out. We wouldn't put some fat person in the ad. We would never do that. They would never convert because the person is wrong. Who would trust some fat person for getting abs and putting muscle on? No one, right? So certain examples like that, you have to have the right person in the ad, the right messaging that speaks to them. So for myself, like I used to be on peptides. I haven't been working out as much as I used to, but I could probably sell very well. Look, if you're a high performer and you want to work out more days, but you're tired of being sore, you're tired of feeling exhausted all the time, we've got peptides that are going to help you recover faster, feel better, sleep better, all these things. Like we can speak directly to that person, and the person in the ad can also speak directly to them. So the messaging needs to be aligned, the person needs to be aligned because it's analyzing it. Additionally, what happens is it creates a better user experience. Think of the platform itself, where the user experience is very important to consider. The platform, this is all they care about. All that Meta cares about is the user experience. They want people to want to scroll more, to be engaged. And you have to ask yourself, like, what do people go on the platform for? This is the other reason why the coupons don't work, because people aren't going to look for a coupon for an ad. They're going to be entertained. They're going to be educated. They're going to see their friends' content, their favorite influencers' content. Maybe they're posting their own content. So the content strategy, it needs to resonate with where that audience is. So for example, I like certain things. There's certain videos that always show up on my feed. I love when they do. One example is 9/11 videos. I love the sound of them. I want to buy one. That's been something I've been working for this year, and I'm going to reward myself when I hit my goals. And this car shows up on my feed. I watch the videos. I'm like manifesting it in real life. It knows that I like these videos. The AI is analyzing how you engage with this particular content, and it's looking at your face, all of this. So the AI that's analyzing your content experience is the same AI that's analyzing the ad experience that you provide as a business and advertiser. So when you run these like Canva ads that are discounted service, it looks like some cheap VA for $5 an hour created it off of Canva, very generic. Guess what happens? They punish you. They don't want anybody to see that. So people have to swipe all the way to the end. So you get doom scrollers, you get desperate people. So this is why the content strategy is arguably one of the most important things. You can't sell to rich people and be in some Honda Civic. Imagine if I pulled up in like a Prius and I was like, hey guys, I help people make money. I'm rich, sign up for my course, right? In a Prius, like nobody would do that. Think of the people that sell these make money offers on the internet. They have Rolls Royces, private jets. Grant Cardone's perfect example. He's all about the personal image, and he's able to attract people that want that. So content strategy, one of the most important things, nailing that down. You can't mess around with this. Really, before you hire an agency, this is some free game. Ask them, show me the creatives that you're running right now. Show me some of the campaigns that you're running. What happens if the messaging of the ad doesn't work? What do you do? How are you testing the messaging of the ad? Free game for you. ask your agency before you sign anything, and that's going to allow you to make better decisions. The second thing that I see is budget allocation. Now, this is going to hurt a lot of people because budget allocation, most businesses aren't spending enough money on these platforms. So one of the things that we do, if we decide that, or actually what happens is you apply to work with us. We interview you. We want to make sure operationally you're sound. You have the right offers that we know we can make money on as advertisers, that there's enough profitability, that there's enough scale, right? I don't want to take on businesses that I don't think can spend 6 figures a month in advertising. If I don't think you can, I'm not going to take you on as a client. And then as an owner and operator, you're going to slow down the deal. So all these things go into consideration when applying to work with us. If we then decide that we want to take you on, or at least continue the conversation, what we do is we show you how we do things, exactly what we're going to do for you, the strategies we're going to deploy, how we're going to do everything. And then we do this step that most advertisers skip, which is doing the math. Why is this important? Because marketing is just math. Some people say we're in the business of statistics. We're looking at data, and that data tells us when to push, when to pull, when to spend more and, really lay it out, hit the gas, when to pull back and say, hey, this isn't working. We need to cut this. We need to pivot. We need to readjust. So budget allocation is very important for that. So we do the math and we say, okay, if you're going to spend this much money on me, you have hard costs, right? For example, let's talk about some peptides. You might have $150 hard cost. That's kind of expensive. If you're getting 150 hard costs, you're getting ripped off. Go find a better supplier. But let's say you're spending $40 on the medication, another $25 to $35 for shipping. So we're at like $75. You got a provider fee, $25 per appointment, whatever you pay your providers. I'm not sure. So we're at like $100, right? Hard cost. Now we had to spend ads money to get there. Let's say we have $150 acquisition cost on average for most of our peptides, GLP-1s, performance peptides, all these other things. We have some less than that, some higher than that. Depends on your needs, your market, and your offer. So let's just say for numbers, $150 for the ad cost, meaning we paid Facebook or Google $150 to acquire a new patient. Well, we had $100 that it cost you just to ship out the product. Okay, that's $250 in total costs. You're selling this for $400 a month. That means you profited $150 on that particular service that you're selling. Well, you have to factor in my costs, right? We generally charge about $7,500 to $10,000 a month to work with us. So let's say $10,000 for easy numbers sakes, $150 per, what is the math on that? 150 in profit. Remember, that's what you make divided by $10,000. You're going to have to sell 67 people to break even on me, the ad costs, and yourself. That's why we call this doing the math. You need to reverse engineer your goals and numbers. This is how you hit them. So let's say you want to hit $1 million month, right? So how many orders do I have to sell to hit $1 million month? Well, you do the math. Let's say you sell a high ticket offer. Maybe you're a breast augmentation and you have a system in place. You can crank these out. It takes me about 3 hours of my time total. I just show up. I've got the best team. I don't even have to meet with the patients for more than 5 minutes just to introduce myself, close them on the consult. I've got a great patient coordinator, great front desk person that's very organized. I've got a great price on the surgery center since I own the building. All the anesthesiologists work directly for me. So everything is well lubricated. We own this business space. Let's say that you're able to crank these out. So you want to hit $1 million a month at $8,000 a pop. We just do the math. Well, what's $1 million divided by 8,000? We got to do 125 cases in a month. If I work 5 days a week, I'm an aggressive surgeon. I like to work. I do the math. That means I need to do 25 cases per month. Well, I can't do those by myself. I can do about 4 cases per day at the absolute most. Really, I want to do 3 cases a day, whatever it is. Like, I know those numbers weren't quite on par, but that's an example of what you need to do. And then you just reverse engineer it. So I need to hire this many surgeons. Then you're going to have to factor in the cost. Well, these surgeons are going to take this much. They're going to get paid $1,000 per case that they do. Or they're going to get paid $2,000 per case that they do. So you reverse engineer the math, you do that, and you just reverse engineer your goals and the costs. So budget allocation, very important. Now, the other reason this is important is you need to spend enough, right? If you're running one campaign, you need, and this is from Facebook, you need to spend $100 per day minimum per campaign. So if you come to me and you're like, Dan, I got $10,000 I can throw into advertising month one. I like what you're doing. We want to run this service, that service. I'm like, no way are we going to be able to do that. Like we need 100. Ideally for me, it's like about 250 per day is probably the minimum I would take on per service we're trying to promote, right? Because we got to spend $100 on the leads. That's one campaign, right? So if we're running a lead conversion campaign, that would be one campaign. Let's say we're doing a Botox offer, $100 on leads for Botox. Well, then we want to retarget those leads, right? Some of those might didn't opt in, like I was talking about with when to run a price discount or a discount of any type. Is we've been messaging all these people. We have all these people that have consumed a lot of our content. It's not that they're a bunch of brokies that only clicked on us because of the discount. They engaged with us because they were interested in something, just needs to get them motivated right now. So we need to run that retargeting campaign. Well, we need to put some juice behind that too. Well, what about our feeder campaign? All these other campaigns that we run a lot of campaigns to really optimize it so that we can get high intent leads that actually want to do business with you. Now, when we run that lead campaign and hit them with an opt-in, they're very likely to convert. We actually get rewarded as advertisers for that. So budget allocation, doing the math, very important. And then minimum spends on these platforms. Again, this is not my word. This is from Facebook. If you're spending less than $100 a day, it's just going to take you forever. You're not going to exit learning phase. The machine learning is not going to kick in and you're going to miss a lot of opportunity. You might not make the money that you need to make in order to work with an advertiser. Any advertiser that tells you to spend $100 a day or less, I would run far away from them. They don't understand these platforms enough to really get you the juice that you need to make the money that you need to make. Additionally, pixel conditioning. All these offers have to have good pixel conditioning. Most advertisers are giving bad data to Facebook or any of these platforms, to be clear. So what happens is, let's say we want leads. We tell Facebook, give us a lead campaign. We set up leads. It could be schedules. It doesn't matter what type of campaign you want. So when we set up this campaign and we tell Facebook we want leads, for example, let's say you have some lead conversion or some lead agency that is like, we guarantee we're going to get you this many offers, and they've got this cookie cutter. We know we've got all these clients in this space. They run the ads for you. It's some like $199 offer on a discounted treatment, body contouring, Botox, whatever it is. So what happens is they set up the campaign. They tell you, hey, we want schedules or we want leads. Now, what happens is they reward Facebook for all those brokies. I hear it all the time. 600 leads, Daniel. That's what we got last month from our agency. We converted 6 patients, right? So what they did is they actually conditioned Facebook to give you more of that. So let's say we got 600 leads, but let's say for numbers sake, 10 of them converted, right? 10 patients out of that. Well, what characteristics were there about these 10? We want to condition the pixel so that we get more of these. But what's happening is by telling Facebook all these other 590 leads are good leads, we're feeding this pixel data back to Facebook. So you go in your platform and it shows all this data going back to Facebook that all these 600 leads were leads. And so Facebook says, okay, well, we're going to give you more of these 590 leads. Well, we only want these 10 ones that actually became patients, but because the agency isn't conditioning the pixel, they're just going to give you more of all of this, right? So next month you're going to get 600 more leads and roughly the same conversion, 10 patients. So this is exactly what happens. Now, what we do is we condition it. So we have a way where the pixel only gets good data. And if you want to learn how to condition your pixel, or you want an agency or marketing growth partner like myself to condition the pixel so that you can start attracting rich people, make sure to click the link below. I've got an application link. I'm very active on social media. My DM is in there, Your Propagandist. We leverage propaganda content to help sell to rich people and get them bought in on you. So if you want pixels to be conditioned the right way so that you get rich people in your audience, make sure to fill out the application. I'll get you started. But when we set up campaigns, our pixel is gets good data back. So what we say is like, hey, these 10 patients that we got, we're only sending that data back to Facebook. Guess what happens? Next month, we get rewarded. When we launch the campaigns again, now our costs drop. The costs drop and we get more. This is when the machine learning kicks in. So machine learning now kicks in and it says, this is the person you want. We found these people, right? But what you guys were doing, since you weren't conditioning your pixel, you're just running this discounted offer. You're getting anybody who opts in. You're telling Facebook, we want more of these people that are just opting in for a discount, right? So this is why content strategy is important. Now that paired with pixel conditioning, we sell to rich people that buy Gucci bags, drop 10 grand on a bag, right? We sell to them. And now when that person who buys Gucci bags becomes one of these 10 patients that we want, and we feed the data back to it, it says, hey, Daniel, we know all these other people that also like Gucci bags and Louis Vuitton and driving nice cars and looking beautiful and anti-aging and longevity. We got all these people. I know 52,000 things about the average person that you want to be in front of. We're going to serve you up more of those people. And so every time you launch, now your salespeople are like, wow, these people we're talking to, we want more of these people. Your patient coordinators, they notice a difference. People start to reach out to you because they want to do business with you, instead of like, we use some tactic to get them to give us our information for a coupon. Like that's not marketing. That's just, certain tactics that can get opt-in. So pixel conditioning, very important. Don't skip this part. All right, so what did we cover so far? We got content strategy, covered the budget allocation, pixel conditioning, and then another big one, which is CRO optimization. So with CRO optimization, you have to optimize and constantly look at the funnel. You need to look at certain hotspots. What part of the funnel are people gravitating to? We found that the frequently asked questions is one of the most common places people like to consume content. Well, what happens in this case? What do I have to do? Do I have to pay for a consult? What are the questions? And it's not hard to come up with. Think of every question you've ever been asked in your sales process prior to somebody giving you money. Those are what you need to put on the frequently asked questions. Now, you need to use a tool like Hotjar or something like that to optimize the hotspots on the funnel. And then with the funnel, you're also going to optimize the VSL. Countless times on offers. I mean, we've had to develop some offers. We'll do 2-3 versions of a VSL. Not that the other ones don't make money. It's like, we're not getting the watch time that we want. And then we know when it hits, you'll see like the graph. We can watch the engagement on a VSL and you'll see it'll look like this, right? So it'll be 11%, like 10% engagement, right? Not that much. But then we're going to adjust the messaging. We'll analyze the messaging. These messages or these ads are resonating better. And so we're like, okay, well, let's adjust the VSL. Let's change the front hook and let's adjust the VSL. Now what we'll do is we'll look at this engagement, right? This is the engagement graph. So this is time, so that you know. So time at the bottom, and then we have engagement on the left. Hopefully this helps you guys and you can understand this. If you've never looked at an engagement chart on any YouTube video, it shows it. On a VSL, it shows it. We use Wistia. That's a good platform. We like to use Wistia because we can see the engagement rates. But now what happens, we adjust the messaging on the ads, we adjust the messaging in the VSL through the optimization, and guess what happens? It's like this. Now our engagement, 30% of all the people that play it, we have 30% of the people watch it all the way through. You get somebody to watch a 5 to 20 minute VSL of who you are, how you help people just like them. They're going to be ready to at least hear you out. They're going to pick up your phone calls. They're going to show to your appointments. They're very likely to schedule a consult with you, if not give you money over the phone, because now we've talked to them about who we are. We've built this, right? The more time that we can get these people to spend with us, the more likely they are to convert. So the VSL optimization, very important. You want to have chapters. If it's long, selling to rich people, they don't want to watch everything. They just want to click to what they want to see. You need to have chapters, a good thumbnail. And these are all the things that we're going to want to do on your high ticket offer or any of the VSLs that we're running for our pages. Additionally, the page load time. So I'll do this down here. So still on the CRO, the page speed. Now, generally what you're going to have to do is set up your domain settings different ways. You're going to have to host it possibly on some other server, but page speed is very important. You're going to get punished by Facebook if your page speed doesn't load fast enough. So all part of the CRO optimization. Then what we need, the other component. So we covered CRO optimization. I'm going to do some stars on these so we can reference them better. Pixel conditioning, budget allocation, content strategy, and then one other thing that I see that's very important is, and this has been especially important in the last like 6 to 12 months, is what we call trust assets. Now, what are trust assets? So testimonials. We have a testimonial script we provide all of our clients, case studies, before and afters, influencer posts, some social media content, right? If it's very educational, with a doctor like breaking down the science behind something, maybe you're selling weight loss. These are all trust assets. People think that we're in a spending economy. I don't believe that, because I see what I do. I see what my clients do. We're all increasing the revenue in our businesses. What I believe is that we're in a trust recession. People don't trust businesses right now. They need to have that level of trust that if they give you money, they're going to get the outcome they want. So they're not spending foolishly, like money's just infinite, right? People are spending, they're more concerned with their spending. It's not that they're not spending. They just want to know that if they spend this money, they're going to get the outcome that they want. Think of like these third world countries, like they're going to analyze if they were like buying glasses, for example, like they need to see, and they don't make a lot of money. They're going to look at literally every pair of glasses and make the best decision they can, because if they don't, that could be like a meal that they're not able to provide for their family, right? So they have to trust that this decision that they're purchasing is the right one. We're not in that extreme of a situation, but people need to know that if they give you $10,000, I'm in good hands with the service that I chose. So testimonials, case studies, before and afters, influencer posts, social media content, we need those. We leverage those on the content ad strategy. We leverage those in our email nurture sequences. We leverage those all over the funnel. We leverage those in our remarketing automations. You absolutely need to be using these to the best of your ability. Sending these out every email, right? We hit people with 18 strategic emails from all these before and afters, all this content. YouTube is probably the best investment that you could possibly make right now, because you're asking someone for 10 grand. You don't think they're going to go to the internet and Google who you are or what you do. Not that they're like trying to look for dirt on you, but they just want to know, is this person reliable? Are they credible? Do they actually know their stuff? So these are, and then YouTube. So these we leverage in everything that we're doing. And this is why we're able to win, because most marketers are lazy. They hire a $5 per hour VA to create some generic Canva ad that you could create yourself. They launch an ad and then they blame it on you and say, well, we got all these leads. We never talk about lead volume. We never talk about a patient scheduling volume. I don't care about those things. I care about one thing for my clients. How much money did you make? Who brought in the most money? What patient was it that converted? Who spent the most money? We're going to analyze exactly what those people did differently. What was the content journey that we put them on? What emails did they open and resonate with? Like, we're going to analyze, is it a lot of work? Yeah, it's a lot of work. But when we do the work, guess what happens? You get the results. It's like working out. You don't get a six-pack without working out. That's just the way that it is. You want to get a six-pack, you're going to have to do the work. You want to make money on the internet, you have to do the work. Those days of just running one ad and getting a lead and converting them are over. People need to trust you, and you need to build trust assets through testimonial videos, case studies, before and afters, influencer posts, social media content, and YouTube videos. And then the last thing, frequency. Now, what does frequency mean? How many times do they see you? Now, you can obviously spend more money, but that doesn't mean that you're going to hit the numbers that they want. If your content strategy is off and your content sucks, you're going to get punished. So spending through this isn't going to work. You need to have the right content strategy, right, for this to work, because now you're going to get rewarded by the platform. You need to have the right strategy on the digital side, which is like, well, where are we spending money? Are we asking for leads, views, engagement, all these things, right? So you need the right digital strategy. You need the right content strategy. You need the right nurture strategy. How are we nurturing these people? When they click, what happens next? So the entire journey needs to be very strategic from start to finish. You need to really analyze what is the CVJ that we need our clients to go through, which is the client value journey. Now with this, we know we're selling high ticket offers. Even if you're doing a weight loss, they're going to spend $1,800 to $2,400 with you. That's not it's not like cheap. You're not selling to poor people. You're selling to people that make more money, rich people generally. So the frequency is very important. For high ticket offers, you need to hit about 10 to 20 touch points for conversion. per conversion. Now, that doesn't mean just call a lead 20 times. We're hitting them with very strategic content. And this is exactly how we're able to get people to show to appointments, increase show rates, get those above 60% from paid, how we're able to get very high lead conversion rates on our campaigns, how we're able to get leads to call you. When's the last time a lead called you and said, hey, Daniel, what's going on? I want to work with you. Right? When's the last time that happened with a patient or with a lead that came in through one of your campaigns? So we've built these systems very strategically for clinics that are doing 7 and 8 figures. And this is how they're winning. It's not luck. It's design that we've leveraged. And we learned this from spending a lot of money. This is what you have to do to hit these kinds of numbers. And this is also what we learned from spending that much. Facebook, you get higher level reps, not those meta marketing pros. Do not listen to them. They're a bunch of retards that should be paying you for your time. So if you have an advertiser and they're like, don't listen to that person, take their word for it. Don't listen to that person. They don't know anything. But when you start spending 6 to 7 figures, Facebook actually cares about you at that time. They say, okay, this is actually a customer now. And they put a high level rep who actually knows a thing or two. We were really lucky to have some clients that are spending like that. And we got to learn exactly what these platforms optimize for. So if you want to stop guessing and finally scale, finally hit a 5 or 6 figure, maybe even a 7 figure month in profitable ad spend, that's like the best feeling in the world, is making a lot of money from ads. Make sure to click the link in the description. And if I provided some value, I would love for you to subscribe to this video, maybe share this video with somebody that you know that would benefit from it. Sharing is caring, and let's get richer together.